Hey, I'm Nicole and this is Own Your Mom & Co. If you're in the photo booth business, you've probably heard this statement, "You're too expensive." And if you haven't heard it, I can guarantee you will. So what do you say when you give a client a quote and they respond with, "You're too expensive"? In today's video, I'm gonna share with you 5 tips on how to respond when your client says that to you. And make sure you stay until the end for some actionable takeaways that you can use today. All right, tip number 1 is going to be empathize with your client. I know for many of us, the first action you may have is to want to be defensive about your pricing. But really, what we should be doing is coming to our clients first with empathy and understanding. Every client's budget is as unique as their event. So if they express concern over pricing, it's important to try and understand their perspective. Every great relationship is based on mutual trust and understanding. So once you have that mindset, you can move on to tip number 2, which is to showcase the unmatched value of your service. Your photo booth isn't just a service, it's an experience. In your conversation with your client, you should be highlighting the exceptional quality, the unforgettable moments captured, and the joy that your booth brings to any event. And you could do this by sharing stories and testimonials that reflect the happiness and fun your booth has contributed to in past events. Ideally, your client should come across this on your website before they even took that step to book. But if they haven't, send them a recap reel or some sort of testimonial to showcase how valuable your service has been to some of your past clients. Remember, you're not just offering a service, you're creating lasting memories that they're not gonna forget. All right, now let's move on to tip number 3, which is to be flexible and be willing to customize, not compromise. Just as every event is unique, so are your service offerings. Show your clients that you're willing to work with them to create a package that fits their needs and budget. Whether it's adjusting their hours of service or allowing them to provide their own props and backdrops, your willingness to adapt can turn a hesitant client into a booked client. Now, this doesn't mean we compromise quality. This takes us to tip number 4, which is quality should never be compromised. While it may be tempting to lower prices to compete, remember that your service is about providing an unparalleled experience. Emphasize that your pricing reflects the high quality, memorable experience that only your photo booth can provide. This quality is what makes your service unique, so don't compromise on your standards here. If providing high quality backdrops is part of what makes your service unique, then don't compromise that by allowing them to provide their own. Oftentimes what can happen is a client can be shopping around and maybe they really like you and what you have to offer, but they found someone who is similar to you but is offering a lower price. And so now they come to you asking if you'd be willing to price match. Remember, with tip number 1, we're coming to this conversation with empathy first. So I want your mindset here to be one of understanding and not judgment or defensiveness. Think of it from their perspective. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? You'll never get what you don't ask for. And when you're planning an event or a wedding, if you can save $100 here and there, that's what you're gonna try to do. So don't hate on them for asking, but here is what you can do. When clients compare your services to less expensive options, it's now your cue to highlight what sets you apart. Discuss the quality of your equipment, the uniqueness of your props, and the level of personalization and care you bring to each event, or even the backups that you provide for those just-in-case scenarios. It's not just about being a photo booth, it's about being an unforgettable part of their special occasion. Lastly, if you've exhausted all the previous options and the client's budget genuinely doesn't align with your pricing, then you can suggest other solutions. Perhaps a shorter rental period. Maybe you only offer 3-hour or 4-hour photo booth sessions. Maybe consider going down to 3 or 2. Or maybe offer a digital only package. Or maybe even a virtual photo booth could work. Offering these other solutions shows that you're committed to finding a solution that works for both parties. If at this point a client decides not to work with you and not to move forward, then make sure you part ways professionally. Let them know you're there for them in the future should their situation change. And you never know. They might have somebody in their family who has seen this whole process go down and wants to gift them a photo booth. They're gonna come right back to you. Trust me, it's happened. So make sure you're always ending it cordially and in a way that doesn't leave any negative taste in their mouth. Handling price objections takes practice, it's uncomfortable, but when it's done right, it will strengthen your business. It's about more than just booking a lead. It's about building relationships, creating unforgettable experiences, and growing your business with confidence. I know how tricky it can be to know what to say to a client, even with those tips that I've mentioned. So I've created 2 email templates specifically for responding to clients who are telling you that you are too expensive, or if they're price shopping and comparing you to someone else. You can find them linked in the description below or in the shop at ownyourmoment.co. I really hope this has been helpful for you. Make sure to give this video a like or follow for more photo booth business tips. And feel free to send off in the comments, have you experienced these situations where you are too expensive to a client? And I would love to know, what were your tactics in remedying the situation? Or did you just find that they were just not the right client for you? Love to hear below. As always, thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.